Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we'll have a chill video that will consist of couple parts. First part will be me checking on my Hoya propagations. I have three kind varieties of Hoyas in these dishes, and I also have this beautiful Hoya croniana, or Super Eskimo, I think common name for it. This is a Hoya that my mom actually bought last week. She bought it for me and herself, so I will be propagating it, cutting it into the pieces and repotting it immediately into the soil. Not all of it obviously, but you will see what I'm talking about. So I will work with this Hoya. I also have in here Hoya linearis cuttings, Hoya Kirkii, and also Hoya macrophylla variegata, so I'll go into that. And also in this video I will talk about the sponsor of this video, which is LETPOT. So I have this smart gardening tool that is filled with everything: watering system, pot itself, and lamp. And it's a cool thing, but about that we will talk a little bit later, because I have some plans for this specific pot that it's standing over here in front of me, and we will see what I'm talking about later on. Right now let's get into Hoya business. So first off, let's probably check how our cuttings are doing. It's been about 3 weeks since I cut them. Okay, so, oh my gosh, look at those roots. This is really exciting. So I saw through the bag that these Hoyas actually went really nuts with the roots. And yes, I could wait a little bit more, but you know what? I actually will be planting them up today and see how it goes, because I just feel ready for it. I mean, look at all of these roots. And I also have a mother plant over here that I will be planting it together with the cutting, so it will be nice, beautiful bushy plant, and it will go into this see-through pot that is a little bit larger, right? Because I want to see how the roots will be going inside of this pot, how the watering, you know, if the soil is still moist and all of that. So it will be a little bit easier for me to trace how these cuttings are feeling. But yeah, most of them having pretty decent roots. So fun. Oh my lord. All of Hoya linearis cuttings grew nice roots. So this is a 3-week update. I think pretty decent roots for 3 weeks. Very nice. Oh, and I did nothing. Not a single time did I open this dish from the bag. Not a single time did I add any kind of water and anything. And every single cutting is alive and happy and growing. So very nice start. Let's see the other one. Oh, I see growth as well. So exciting. So in here I have two varieties of Hoyas. Bam, right? So the large leaves are Hoya macrophylla variegata. Let me try to take it out. Oh, okay. Wow, yeah, so it has decent roots as well, really nice. Actually, maybe I should not have to leave it such a long cutting, but we'll work on that. I think this is the only Hoya that I won't be repotting today, but we'll see about that. And also, look at this crazy roots on this Hoya. Such a small cutting and so many roots growing on it. Oh yeah, look at these, they're insane. Huh? Right? This will be so much fun. Oh my gosh, I love experiments like this. Look at this, so many roots. These cuttings are so happy. Oh my gosh, so exciting, so exciting. Every single cutting that I'm taking off is having a decent amount of roots. Look at this, so awesome. Really awesome. I just keep on taking them and they just keep on surprising me. Look at this. And that's why I love propagating in perlite, because I do not need to worry about taking all of that perlite out of these root systems, because it won't cause any kind of rot. So really exciting. Okay, so really nice start in my opinion. I also actually love, I forgot to mention that these Hoyas are growing not only roots but also tiny tumors on the end of each cutting. You can see how the end of this branch is a little bit fatter, so this is where the tubers are growing. The same thing is doing Hoya macrophylla. Can you see? Little tiny potato growing at the end of this cutting, so this is also very fun. I mean, the same thing is going on with Hoya linearis. Fun fact, right? smaller, but still doing the same thing. So the first part is over. We've seen the cuttings, all of them are happy and healthy and ready to go into the new home. So that's what we are gonna do right now. I wanna start to plant the Hoya linearis probably, and then we'll go to the other ones. Okay, so I will be planting these Hoyas into simple cactus soil mix because once again, this is something that works for me well, so I do not want to change it since it's working, right? Let's prepare the soil. All right, so I have this, I have the pot. Let's go straight into the business. I have this Hoya linearis for over a year right now, and I never reported it since one of you actually shipped it to me as a present, as surprise. I was too afraid to report it because at that time I was struggling with it. It was losing lots of branches and leaves, but finally I think I found a very nice middle of how everything should be working with this plant, and I feel pretty good reporting it, so hopefully I'm doing the right thing, you know? Oh, there are lots of pebbles, lots of barks. Okay. Okay, I think I'll put this one to sit like so on the edge, just like it was doing in the previous pot. And in here I'll add a little layer of soil and put all of these cuttings facing the very same direction. I'm actually a little bit worried. This is a Hoya that is pretty difficult for me since it's, you know, so small and fragile. I need to keep up my watering with it and stay serious and focused about it, which I'm not good at, so hopefully everything will be fine. Okay, this cutting don't have any kind of growth, but it's still alive. So I'll put it aside. We'll see what I'm gonna do with it later. Wink wink, wink wink, because I have something planned for it, so stay tuned, guys. Look at these roots, so beautiful. Oh my gosh, I love when plants are happy. That makes me happy. Gorgeous. Okay, this is really gorgeous. So I want to sprinkle a little bit of soil on top. I do not recommend it, but I found a way to work on plants that have, you know, a lot of small foliage like this. After filming this portion, I will take my sprinkle and I'll spray really, you know, intensely on the top of this soil layer, and it will go, you know, lower under the leaves since the pressure of water will take it in all of the crevices. Okay, so here we have the first Hoya repotted, looking nice. Let's put it aside for now. Right now I want to plant my Hoya kirkii, and I have a couple pots in here. I also have a mama plant. Ooh. I'm not sure if you could see it on the shelf, but once again, this is also another Hoya that oh no, wait, this one is actually from a plant swap I attended last year. So it's been almost a year in this pot, maybe longer. I'm not sure where it was before getting into my collection. But once again, I propagated because it's getting a little bit crazy. I have a bunch of cuttings, so I want to add them in here. So instead of just growing like a couple crazy vines, it will be a little bit bushier crazy, but still vines. You get the idea. What I'm trying to explain, oh my gosh. I think I'm gonna plant it into a little bit taller pot. I have this aged terracotta pot that I rescued from the garbage containers. I actually found, I think, 3 pots that were terracotta, aged beautiful terracotta pots, just standing next to the garbage containers, you know, waiting for somebody to rescue them, and I was that person who did it, you know? Let me prepare this pot for the new habitants. Oh, you guys, I'm trying to work with some, you know, smarter words in my vocabulary because I want to be smart, you know. Sometimes it's a bit difficult to be smart in other languages. Let's take it out of this pot and see what's going on inside. Oh wow, it's really okay. Whoach. Whoach, whoach, whoach. Okay, so it has a pretty decent amount of roots In here actually is one singular cutting that just went wild. This is so cool. Here is the root system, right? I'm trying to take out a little bit of soil. Oh, there was a second cutting that did not survive. Stuff happens, right? Bam. Bam, shabam. Oh, this will be so nice. What a nice upgrade. Really exciting. Actually, my mom also asked for a couple cuttings of this Hoya, so I will leave a couple cuttings for her, but most of them will go straight into the pot. Ooh, so many roots, so happy. This actually Hoya is such an easy plant if you want to go into Hoyas, but you're a little bit spooked how difficult they might be. This specific Hoya is so easy. It actually just, while it's growing, you know, and branching out, it's already have a ton of aerial roots and it's already ready to grow. Okay, so I'm adding a bunch of Hoya cuttings on the very top in here, and I'll do the same thing I did with linearis. So I will just put the soil on top and later on sprinkle it with water, spray it with water, and this would help, I think. Gosh, look at that. Yeah, I think this will be enough. Other ones I will leave for my mom. I can already see the leaves, you know, coming out, so the water will do the trick. For those who are probably first time on my channel, you're thinking like that I'm insane or something. Just putting the soil on top of all of this foliage. Oh yes, we go crazy in this channel, you know. Hoya number 2, all ready. Oh my gosh, it looks so beautiful in the spot, so natural. Oh, I'm so excited. This will be such a happy plant. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cuttings of this Hoya. Okay, so right now what I want to do, my mom said I can take a couple branches out of this plant, and I will, because of course I will. Okay, first off, maybe let's prepare the pot for it. I think this will work perfectly. It's actually pretty cute. Okay, pot is ready. So let's see how many cuttings we have in here. 1 cutting, right? Here. 2nd cutting. 4 cuttings in this pot. So I will keep 1 branch for myself. All others will go to my mom. Plant these Hoyas first. Bam. Okay, so from that side we have these Hoyas, and from the other side I will plant these Hoyas kirkii. I will just place them on top of the soil, and I will keep this soil pretty moist so they will find their way, you know, and do their job. Another cutting I actually left for my mom's largest cuttings of my Hoya kirkii. Oh my gosh, I love to share plants and to, you know, exchange them, especially with my mom. This is such a cool experience, and I think this just will put us a little bit closer because we have, you know, once again, same interests and chats and all of that. Okay, as always, no spot where to put a new plant. And last plant left to do is to plant my super Eskimo Hoya. So the plan is for this, since it's 1 singular branch, I actually want to make it into 2 branches, so I will cut it. You know what? I won't be planting it into the soil. I will take off all of that soil and I will put it back into my propagation station from my previous Hoyas. And when both of these cuttings will be ready, I will be planting them into the soil. So this is the size of these cuttings. Both of them have 2 nodes. Nothing too crazy, but at the same time pretty cute. So I'm putting them back into here. Or actually I have a little bit more genius idea. So right now we will go into the sponsor of this video. Let me clean everything up and we'll chat in a second. Okay, so I cleaned the table, have my LED pot over here, and I want to chat a little bit more about it because the LED pot is sponsoring my today's video and I'm really excited to work with them. I have this LED pot for 2 weeks right now and I actually am so happy about it. It's this kind of pot that makes you wonder, you know, what the future holds for us, because it's already so futuristic. Probably I should turn off the light for now. Better, right? So I have this pot for 2 weeks, and as you can tell, the garden already started growing. Actually, some fun stuff already is happening. And first off, let's start with the success ratio. So in here I have 15 pots that are looking like this, right? Here you can see a little bit of root, right? So I have 15 pots like this with very different stuff. On this side I have some flowers for the garden. I also have some dills. I have, oh no, sorry, in this spot are flowers. Here I have cilantro, what I also planted, I think some in here I have garlic. So most of these seeds actually sprouted in the first week of me planting them, which is, I think, a very nice ratio. I have 3 empty pots that did not work, and for that might be many reasons in my opinion. So what I think went wrong with these 3 empty pots in here? I think some of the seeds did not like so much moisture and they just rotted on me. I could see some, you know, teeny tiny webbing going on in the very middle of this sponge. Actually, a couple of you asked me how you can take the seeds out of these sponges after, you know, they started to grow. You do not need this. Sponges are made out of organic matter, I think pumice, if I'm not wrong, so you can plant it directly into the soil together with the plant and it will be completely organic and fine, right? But what did not work, I think that some of the seeds did not like so much moisture and they rotted. So I have 3 spare pots and I want to do another experiment with it, but before going into that, let's just go through all of my plants. As you can tell, they're still pretty small, but already I could eat some dill over here. And here is a garlic. Actually, my fiance decided to make a little joke, and when I showed him this pot, he was, you know, excited. He said how cool it's looking and all of that. And the next morning I woke up and saw this little garlic clove planted just directly into one of these pots, and I thought it was just a joke, and I left it as a joke, as a reminder, because it was a little bit fun. But as you can tell, it actually sprouted. So singular garlic from our kitchen, from a simple grocery store, started to grow, and I can cut this part and use it for a salad or something, or for, you know, any kind of dish. So this is so cool in my opinion, that you can just experiment with plants you have in your kitchen, in your fridge maybe, and just plant seeds and see how they will grow, because this is such a perfect conditions for all of the plants. So since we're talking about all of the plants, I wanna do another experiment with this. This already surprised me with a pretty decent ratio of growth, right? But I wanna push it further. I wanna see how far we can go with the pot. So I have my Hoya cuttings I was talking with you previously, right? And I actually want to use these 3 spare pots to plant my Hoyas and see if houseplants can grow in here as well. And I mean, honestly, I'm 100% sure that they can, because I mean, this is a perfect condition, nice lighting, you know, a nice tank of water. I mean, look at all of these roots you can see growing already. Maybe my camera isn't catching, but there are a lot of roots going on. The water layer in 1 month is decent, right? It's a little bit yellowish, but I think this is because I added some nutrients, and also from these plant pots, right, from these sponges. So everything is fine. So since I have these 3 spare pots without any growth, I wanna plant in here Hoya cuttings and see if they will take off, and if so, if they will grow faster than they did in my, you know, homemade propagation station, versus this, you know, very cool spaceship looking pot. Let's see what will work the best, right? So I have this cutting of Hoya Super Eskimo, right? Here you can see it's a little hole. There's a little seed actually inside that I wanna take off. Actually, not all seeds will take over, you know, so this is completely normal. So since I have this nice pot, I will just put this Hoya straight into this tiny hole, and it will provide my Hoya with water, with nutrition, and also sunlight, as this lamp that you can see above my head. So I'm actually so curious how this will go. So we have one experimenting Hoya over here. I also have this Hoya linearis that actually did not grow in my homemade propagation station. It was growing in here for 2 weeks, and in this 2 weeks period nothing happened. Let's see what happens in this pot. And I will just put Hoya like so. Bam. Hoya linearis also will be together with my garden. Okay, so we have two very different Hoyas, really different Hoyas. Let's have the third one, and I think I will put macrophylla. This might be a little bit crazy because it won't fit in this whole pot, but since I can tell that this very bottom of Hoya is growing this tuber, this little tiny potato, that might work. Let's play around and see, because I'm really curious if it will. And I love houseplant experiments. I mean, if you've been longer on my channel, you know how much I love experimenting with my plants. So I'm taking the old seed out and just putting it inside. Okay, this is actually the first time of me propagating Hoyas not in perlite or moss, so I'm actually curious how this will go, especially since this particular Hoya macrophylla is not in this pot, in the sponge, all the way till the node of this cutting. Only the very end of this cutting is in this pot with moisture and nutritions. So I'm curious, I'm very curious how this will go. So here is a second video of me playing with my garden. This is so much fun. Actually, my fiance and a couple of his friends actually were over in our apartment, and when they saw this planter, they were like, whoa, what the heck is going on in here? Are you crazy scientist or something? And I was like, heck yeah, look at this stuff. I mean, come on. Come on. Are you kidding me? Of course I'm crazy scientist. So I was actually showing them how it works. I was showing the phone app, how I can control lighting over my phone sitting in the very other corner of the room. They were blown away. I'm telling you, it's so much fun. Play with the reactions of your friends when they are not into plants and they have no idea what plant community have already to offer. So this was so much fun, and I already have only the good things to share about this. For now, in 2 weeks period as I am using it, I have only positive stuff to say about it. It's so quiet. I do not hear when it's working. I do not hear when it starts to work and when it finishes to work. I love the light. It is so bright. I actually started to keep it in here closer to my other houseplants. And this lamp, since it right now is a little bit taller, it gets the light for all of the other plants that are standing around it. So not only am I using this specific lamp for these plants, 15 plants that are growing inside of this pot, I also am using it for the plants nearby, which is so cool in my opinion. I'm so excited. It looks fabulous. As I already told, my fiance's friend loved the way it looks, and there are guys who do not understand anything about plants. My mom and sister said it looks so cool, like definitely something from Spaceship. So not only it looks like a nice interior decor detail, it's also so fun to play around, to see how everything grows, to work with all of those buttons, or your phone via Bluetooth and all of that. This is so fun. Oh, I'm having a really good time. But this is probably where I will leave it. This video is already really long and I would chat about it non-stop. Sometimes my fiance catches me just staring in this spot and seeing how the light is just reflecting on all of these different plants, and I'm just sitting there with poker face. I'm just like deeply into my thoughts. So really happy about this pot, guys. So actually, once again, I have a link to my previous video where I introduced this pot for you, so you can go ahead and find the link to this video in my description box down below. I also have a discount code that I will leave in my description box as well, and I think I'll pin it in the comments if you wanna go ahead and try this thing out. This is so much fun. It comes in different colors. I mean, I love green, but there's also gray and white, and whatever works for you. This is such a fun thing. It doesn't take too many electricity. Actually, I was a little bit worried since it's, it's not a small lamp. And when my electricity bill came, I was, holding fingers that it won't be higher than normally, and it wasn't. So this is great. I really stand with this pot. I kindly suggest you to try it because this is fun. This is fun. But anyway, thank you so much for watching, and before leaving you, let me teach you another language lesson. And since we have dill growing in my garden, let me teach you how to say dill in Lithuanian and in Russian. So if you want to say dill in Lithuanian, you need to say krapai. Once again, krapai. And if you want to say dill in Russian, you need to say ukrop. Once again, ukrop. And this is it. Thank you so much for watching and joining me with my other houseplant experiments. Because love experiments, you can tell probably, right? Thank you so much for watching. Please like this video, please comment what do you think about all of these experiments, and subscribe if you want to see more planting content on my channel. And hopefully I will see you in my next one. Bye!